You ever wonder why some guys seem to have this magnetic pull? Like they walk into a room and people notice. Especially women. Not because they're rich, not because they look like movie stars. It's something else. Something you can't quite put your finger on. And here's the kicker. It's not about game or flashy clothes or cheesy lines. It's deeper than that. It's about traits. Traits that most guys never develop. Traits that only 1% of men truly own. See, the average guy gets caught up in trying to impress. He thinks, if I just say the right thing, wear the right outfit, act like the alpha, maybe then she'll like me. But the truth is, women can spot a tryhard a mile away. It's not about doing, it's about being. And what I mean by that is your energy, your presence, how you carry yourself. That's what sticks. That's what makes her look twice. And wonder who the hell you are. I want you to imagine this. You're at a party, music's playing, people are mingling, everyone's got a drink in hand. And then someone walks in. No announcement, no big entrance, just walks in. But the energy shifts, people notice. That's presence, that's rare. And women, they feel that. Not on a logical level, but on a primal one. They don't even realize. Half the time, it's subconscious, but it hits them like a wave. And the truth is, you don't fake that kind of presence. You build it, quietly, through who you are when nobody's watching, through the inner work, the discipline, the choices you make daily. Most guys never go there. They're too distracted, too reactive, always chasing instead of becoming. But you're here, which already says something about you. You're hungry for more. You're not trying to look like one of the 1%. You're trying to become it. That's rare. Now here's where it gets interesting. Most women won't tell you what they're really attracted to. Not because they're hiding anything, but because it's not always clear to them either. They just feel it. They know when a man walks into their world and suddenly the air feels different. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real, grounded, unapologetically you. But let me be real with you, this isn't easy. You don't just wake up one day and boom, you're part of the 1%. It takes stripping away layers of BS, getting honest with yourself, facing things you'd rather avoid. But that's the path. That's the quiet, unseen road that leads to everything you've ever wanted, not just with women, but in life. There's this moment every man hits, where he's tired of pretending, tired of trying to be who he thinks he should be. And that moment, that's when transformation begins. That's when you stop chasing and start attracting. When your silence speaks louder than words. When your calm energy feels more powerful than any flex. Women notice that. They feel it in their gut. They trust it. Because real masculine energy doesn't need validation. It doesn't beg for attention. It commands it by simply being whole, centered and focused. And when you step into that energy, really own it, you don't have to chase anymore. They come to you, curious, drawn in, wondering what makes you different. And the truth, what makes you different is that you're not playing games. You're not putting on a mask. You're not bending yourself into something. You're not just to get a reaction. You're solid. And women crave that in a world full of noise. In a world where most guys are lost, distracted, or afraid to be real. There's this quiet confidence that the top 1% of men have. It doesn't shout. It doesn't need to. It's in the way they walk, the way they make eye contact, the way they listen, not just to respond, but to understand. It's in how they handle setbacks, how they carry themselves when things go wrong. That's what creates attraction on a soul level. Not just chemistry, but connection. And let's be real, anyone can act confident when things are going well. But what about when you're under pressure, when you're uncertain, when things fall apart? That's when your character shows. That's when your energy either crumbles or becomes something unshakable. And if you're one of the few men who can stay grounded in those moments, you stand out, you shine. Women are constantly observing, quietly. They're watching how you treat the waiter, how you talk about your friends, how you respond when someone disrespects you. They don't want a tough guy who's all bark. They Want a man who can hold his own without losing control. Someone who's strong enough to be soft, who doesn't flinch when things get messy. And the funny thing, the more grounded you are, the less you need anything from her. And that makes her want you even more, because you're not trying to take from her, you're overflowing. You're bringing something to the table that can't be bought, faked, or forced. That's irresistible. So if you're listening to this thinking, I want to be that guy, just know it starts today. Not with flashy changes, not with trying to impress anyone, but with looking in the mirror and asking, who am I becoming? Every decision you make answers that question. Every habit, every moment you choose growth over comfort. Because let's be honest, most men won't. Most will keep scrolling, chasing likes, buying into shallow tactics. But you're here, you're listening. That means you already have something. They don't. A hunger for depth, for truth, for the kind of presence that women don't just notice. But remember, and if you stay on that path, if you keep showing up for yourself, keep getting better, keep peeling back the layers, you'll become the kind of man who doesn't chase attention. You'll attract it effortlessly, authentically, unapologetically. So to every man listening right now, remember this: you don't need to become someone else to be desired. You need to become yourself fully. And that version of you, that real, grounded, powerful version, that's what drives women wild. That's what separates you from the crowd. Only 1% of men ever truly get there. But if you're willing to do the work, there's no reason it can't be you.